year 2023. We thank God for sparing our life to be here this morning. And today we want to look at something very germane. The way I say it is, I call it the nucleus of our economy. And that is poor. If you must go to school, if your children must go to school, if you must go to your office, if you must go to your farm, if you must go to the market, if you need anything, anywhere. And my Yoruba fathers, they say, be our local, our deco. So this is one item that is central. Whether you live in the city or you live in the remote area. This is not the age when we climb donkeys here and there, although some people are still doing it somewhere. Now, 1, 2, 3 days back now, the NNPCL came up to tell us that this is prices of petrol across the nation. And that's a follow-up to the declaration of their president on Monday that subsidy is gone. And immediately on the evening, Monday evening, we start seeing queue. Tuesday, it was terrible. And the government here came up with a stern warning to marketers. Please do not halt. And upon that agreement, they start selling here 500 naira. And if we look at the template released by the NNPC, we're going to be talking about this after. I must tell you that I have my guest in the studio who is going to give us an X-ray into all this. He is a Comrade Olaito Asimiyu. It's my pleasure welcoming you into the studio this morning.
Good morning, sir.
So, your greetings to our people at home, and we kick the ball.
Good morning, the listener too. Barika Juma. Happy New Month. Happy New Nigeria. Good morning, Osum State. Good morning, Nigeria.
Happy New Nigeria.
Yes.
Yeah, the president said it in his broadcast that we had endured a lot of things in the past, and he has come to keep hope alive. Keeping hope alive, he said, fuel subsidy is gone. And years before now, Nigerians have been saying, that whatsoever that will come, this subsidy, we have been talking so much around it. If we want to remove it, let's remove it. But we remember some 11 years back now that the current president and the immediate past and some other notable individuals went on the streets, occupy Nigeria, to tell the president then, Governor Dr. Billy Jonathan, that you cannot remove subsidy. What has changed? Has anything changed?
Well, let me start by saying this. It is time for our politicians to take their campaign on a societal based matters. During the Jonathan era, when he deemed it fit, the former president of Nigeria, Dr. Billy Jonathan, as at that moment, it is a totally time for Nigeria to remove the subsidy. By now, we will have been in enjoyment. By now, we will have been getting it right. But because of the political interest, but because of because of the power, because of the weakness of Mr. President then, he lacks strategy. There are some things that has to be put in place. Because when you look at that particular period of time, it was a time of the closing to electoral campaign. And if you want to do such, if you look at the immediate former president, he knows that if peradventure they remove the subsidy in January of this year, something will have happened to their party. There's a tendency or a pedigree for their party not to win this presidential election. So he kept it pending the time of the new government. But there will be an arrangement between the present president and the immediate former president that once we get to the office, we remove it. And when you look at this, when you look at the indexes, the month of June has been paid, subsidy has been paid for the month of June. He knows the May 29 is the transition day of the Nigeria democracy system. So once the Mr. President has been sworn in, he knows something will happen. But just kept it pending the time of that particular period of time. But fortunately, the three contenders, the three main aspirants for the president were deemed it fit during their campaign that the subsidy have to be removed. And sincerely yours, let me go by giving the simple meanings of fuel subsidy. The simplest meaning of fuel subsidy is just a form of government intervention to reduce the cost of the fuel by giving direct financial support to the oil companies. But here in Africa, the oil companies are the one behind the refinery not to work because of what they are benefited from it. They are the one make sure find all possible means for refineries not to work. And let me tell you this, for the past 12 years now, through my personal findings, people who are working in NLPC, they have never produced just single liter of petrol. And billions of naira have been paid on monthly basis.
And salaries.
Salaries, allowances. Now, where are we going now? The population or the staff enrollment of NLPC is more than 10-15 state university lecturers. Their payroll on monthly basis. If Nigerians can continue paying such a huge salary, something will happen, something terrible will happen. Soon.
Okay. Now, you said that 11-12 years ago, somebody was to remove it. Some people said, you cannot do this. We have excess crude accounts. The governors, they went to Mr. President then, come, you cannot keep this money while our people are not having anything to eat. That purse was depleted. Now, you define subsidy as a kind of relief. Now, this relief, we've been told everybody is getting a fair share of it. But how many liters of fuel do that kind of man plan a bokon shebo? Is it buying in a day, in a week? How much money is he gaining on daily basis from his business? That you now say what he bought yesterday at 198 naira should not go to 500 naira. If you see the road today, you see a number of people walking along the streets. They cannot afford to pay. Now we will go to the template released by the NPCL. We'll see how it is graduated. If you are in Lagos axis, you pay 488. If you are outside Lagos, you are in Ogun, you are in Osun, you are in Oyo, you pay 500. If you are in Abuja, you pay 537. If you are beyond, you pay this. If you are this, you pay this. Now, these things that has happened. Somebody came from Abuja yesterday. He said he paid 15,000 naira. I wouldn't know how many times I've seen people off to the park, opposite Faculty High School here. Their years they pay in my presence is 4,500. 4,500 to 15,000. That's times 3. If you must go to Lagos from Osogbo now, you pay 6,000 naira. Now, if I receive 20,000 naira a month, and I buy 10 liters of fuel, won't my wife eat? My children, won't they go to school? Now, you said we need to cushion it. Ẹ jẹ́ kí n sọ ní Yorùbá téèyàn bá bọyàn lẹ́nu ọmọ láti pèsè nǹkan tí ó jẹ sílẹ̀ our feeding bottle méjì mẹ́ta. Abi, where are feeding bottles?
That is where the Mr. President got it wrong. We should have not seen it on the inauguration day. Proper planning, proper approach, proper strategy, a well-defined method have to be put in place. Let me tell you this, sir.
Right.
43 years ago, Nigeria has been subsidized fuel. Is it PMC or PMS.
Yeah.
43 years ago, and I've never, let me say from 1990, no festive you will not see a queue in a filling station. The same companies, the same marketers, they are the one in charge of it. Whenever it is come to festivals, you see there will become something, they will increase the price of the fuel. But by now, the fuel, the sector, that sector determine the lives of the citizens. Like you said earlier on. That's where Mr. President got it wrong. You should have kept it. Find a kind of this, inviting the stakeholders, rubbing mind, brainstorming, drawing together. How can we channel these resources? How can we remove this? If we remove this, where are we going to relieve the people? The 5,000 naira package, I'm not supporting of it. Paying 5,000 naira to individual for the transport and the other is not, it is complete rubbish. If the government deem it fit to reduce, to remove the subsidy, there should be a proper channel to spend our resources. But the only fear I have is the governors of Nigeria. The 36 governors in Nigeria, that's my fear. I remember vividly, like you said, even recently, during the Baba Buhari era, when we have the salary issues, during the global economic meltdown, the man gave them the bailout. The bailout is going to be refunded through the allocation later. No, let me just say 10% of governors in Nigeria spending the money accordingly. And the president cannot come to the state and tell them this is what to do. I remember during the President Jonathan era, they went to court. It was litigation before the man now deemed it fit to release the Eco Fund. Because the man said they want to take it as a reserve. And the Nigerian governors, through the chairman of the Governors Forum then, took the Mr. President to the court. And it's their right, truly. But where is that resources today? They spend it lavishly. Let me use this as a case study. The bailout was given to this state twice by them governor. But where is that effect today? The arrears of that salary still.
Our people went to where the bailouts and the palliative things were kept.
Again, you don't know the palliative was given by the individuals, the complex.
Okay.
And you get it's not from that. It's not from that particular resources.
Okay.
The resources has been given to them to be relieved. For them, they are unable to pay salary.
Okay.
But the purpose of giving them to that particular is to pay salaries. Go to Bayelsa, almost 20 or 19 months salary, and the man has to pay it. And he was given 49 or 48 billion naira. But they embark on infrastructure because that's where they gain. That's where their political affiliated people. That's where they gain. They know there's no reward in paying the salary. If we remove the subsidy now, there's going to be a wage resources available. If Nigeria can spend 40 billion naira monthly basis for fuel subsidy, but we know the problem we have is we lack a database. Now an individual, they tax I think 2 liters for individual. When they bring the fuel, we know the certain the liters they bring in, but at the end of the month, they don't tell us how many liters the Nigerian consumes.
They don't know, because I was watching the chairman Melekari on a television station yesterday. That question was put to him. Sir, how many liters of fuel do Nigerians consume daily?
They don't have that.
He can only say how much fuel, how many liters are lifted from the depot. And this is why he cannot. Because it's our people that will channel that fuel to neighboring countries.
Of course.
So, if you say you are buying something from Oshobo, you are going to Ibokun to sell.
And you divert.
And when you get to Onababa, you face Ilesha. So, who are we to blame in that case? What is the problem with Nigeria and Nigerians?
And our problem is materialism. We are too materialism. We want to hold everything. We just want to have every Nigerian just wake up, they want to just become a multi-billionaire.
Okay. Let's look at the template the NNPC released. Now, if you are in Abuja, okay, Nasarawa is the first one here.
Right.
FCT, Nasarawa. Before now, they buy fuel there at 194, at 189. Now, again, Plateau, Kwara, Kogi, and Benue at 189 as well.
Right.
Now it is 537.
Yes.
Okay, coming down here now, Adamawa 199. Before, it's now 550 a liter. Taraba, Bauchi, Gombe, it's 199, 199, 199, 199, 199, coming down to Jobe. Now, this state, they will pay 550, 550, 550, 550. Of what percentage is that increment? This is something we went to bed yesterday. And more so, it is not that they lifted overnight. Some of them are paid, they have been supplied, they have lifted the fuel is now within their premises there. And they bought at the normal rate. Netinko, you bought something for 230 for an example. You want to make your profit, sell it at 250. Yes. And you won't stop at that. But you now go to 500, suddenly. 600 suddenly. Why are Nigerians like this to themselves?
Well, let me give the analysis of the cost on the fuel. There's a two cost: distribution cost, landing cost. The landing cost is in which one? Is the which one? Presently, as at last 2 weeks, the landing cost is still around 15 naira. Distribution cost depends on the geographical area. Lagos, Ogun, I think it's 18 naira 60 kobo, 18 naira 66 kobo. Osun, Ekiti, Kwara, Ondo, 20 naira 21 kobo. Meduguri, Borno State, Taraba, FCT, Adamawa, and it's 33 naira 44 kobo. Now adding it together, the 315 naira plus 20 naira, that is 335 naira. The cost of the fuel is just 165 naira. Plus 165 naira, you see, is close to 500 naira. Now the marketers, the major marketers, let me tell you this. Some of them, they don't have station anymore. They don't have filling station anymore. They just have it on paper, using it to get resources from the government every month. That is why we are so dishonest. Among them, if you have somebody who have the fear of the masses, or who have the fear of the Almighty God, who deem it fit, then I want to set the price the way I bought it before the price change. The one I have in my capacity, The one I have in my tank, I want to sell it at the rate of what I bought it. I was in Bofax. I don't want to mention the station. I was calling one of the staff who happened to be my ex-student. When are you going to sign fuel? He said they are expecting order. And I've had an information that NNPC have started selling for 88 naira here in Oshobo. That's okay. Let me see what this woman can do. Maybe she will join them. Or she will try to be an honest person as we know her. But unfortunately, she disappointed me. This is what I said.
But she cannot be singled out.
That's what I'm saying now. If she deem it fit to sell it at the rate of what she bought it, I'm telling you nothing will happen to her. I know masses for one thing. If you are pro-masses, no matter whoever that intimidates you, the masses will back you up. The masses will back. Nothing will happen to her. They have this particular fuel in their tank already, bought at rate of 165 naira, being subsidized already. Even the month of June, the former governor has paid for the month of June subsidy.
You mean the president?
The former president. Because the budget of 2023 covered up to the June. Are you getting it? Now, this month of June, they cannot revise the subsidy being paid by federal government anymore. Why not sell the fuel at the same price you have been selling it once the subsidy has been paid? But because of the dishonest, and we want those who want to make money unnecessarily. But unfortunately for Africa, I've never seen somebody who buried with gold or dollars and resources. We came here with nothing. We were left with nothing. But they don't know. Now, the resources, the fuel, the price of the fuel, before the subsidy is being removed, and the subsidy is yet to be removed. It's yet to be removed. The only thing we know that the subsidy in the budget of 2023 covered up to the June ending. And I know the present president will perform. I know him.
Okay. If we are waiting for that performance, the first step here is what is giving us this problem. The NLC will be meeting today.
I'm not trusting NLC.
You didn't trust NLC?
At all.
Okay. Maybe because
they have become a brand envelope team.
Okay. I don't want to say that about my labor movements.
Apology.
Okay. Because they are our eyes and our nose. I am still going to go back to the palliative thing.
Right.
But if you want to stop breastfeeding your boy, your daughter, you must get something ready
to replace it.
And I think the period between May 29 and June 30, when there won't be any provision for first subsidy in that budget again, it's enough to plan, to tell us the process. Because the president in his speech said, we're going to use this money that's been paid as subsidy on education, on health, on employment. These are good intentions. Because I cannot continue to see my nation, universities turning out our girls and boys in their numbers, and they roam the streets all around without any job. And a huge amount of money is being shared among some few. That's a very good one. But the process is what we are talking about. What happened to the process? Why this is decision? Why this is declaration by our president?
What? Let me start by saying this. As I was watching Dele Alake,
2 days ago?
Just 2 days ago. As I was following him as well on Twitter. I know he's a brilliant person.
After the meeting?
Yes. I know the president is here to announce the special advisor on media and the spokesperson. That I know.
That's a question. In what capacity?
Yeah.
Was he addressing the press?
As he done the campaign, and I think it was a director of publics and something media and this and that. When I was following him, as I was just trying to, I know Aswaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the president, he has technocrats around him, and whatever they say, I know something is coming. I know it's from the authority. The man said, we are going to channel these resources, the subsidy money, on infrastructure, on education, on net, on this and that. But I was telling a friend of mine that we sat together that my fear is governor of the country.
Comrade, that's you.
Yes, sir.
Time is not a friend on the program.
Wow.
Our time is up. And just for 1 minute,
Right.
just a sentence.
Well, I want to advise Mr. President that they should build a proper arrangement, proper planning, and they should lift the issue of subsidy removal for the month of the June.
Okay.
The price should go back to
Thank you very much, our viewers. That's how far we'll be able to go on this segment of the program this morning. We thank you for staying tuned. And today is Friday, like I mentioned. We'll be coming around for another guest segment on Monday. So, my appreciation. Thank you for coming.
Happy weekend, sir.
I remain yours sincerely, Olasukomi Oyebayo. Good morning.